Tea Time with Tiara. Today I'm going to show you 5 ways to steep some loose leaf tea. This is a question I received from one of my previous videos, and I figured what better day to show you than today, a day of love. Some people call it Sweetest Day. And I was getting ready to enjoy a cup of love tea, which I purchased from David's Tea. This is a blend of black tea, and it has chocolate, strawberries, and rose petals in it, and so it's just really good. And David's Tea added some natural flavoring to it, some vanilla, some red fruit flavoring, and this tea contains soy, just as an FYI. It is a really delicious tea. I've had it before, and I'm excited to have it again today. This tea is steeped in near boiling water, so you would never want to just pour the boiling water in this tea because it has some delicate leaves in it. Normally, when steeping a black tea, you can steep it at 212 degrees, which is boiling water. But for this one, because it has some additions in it, we don't want to steep it at a boiling temperature. So, the 5 ways to steep tea. The first way is by using a tea basket. I purchased this cup at David's Tea, and it has a basket that came with it. And so you put your tea leaves in this basket and steep it. So that's way number 1, by using a tea basket. Second way to steep a tea is by using a tea bag. And so I just take a regular tea cup, and I put tea in and steep it in a teacup. The third way to steep a cup of tea would be using a little tea bunny. This is another way. If you don't have a tea basket, these are really cute. You can pick them up at places like Kohl's or TJ Maxx, Walmart. Any local grocery store would have these. And so you open up the top, put your tea in it, and then set it back in and steep your tea in your cup. Fourth way to steep tea would be using a small teapot. You can use a small or a large teapot. I really like this cute one. I picked it up from Cracker Barrel, and it actually, if I turn it around, it has a little rooster on it. Really, really cute. So you can use, you can put your tea leaves inside of the pot. Some of these teapots have a strainer made inside of the neck of the teapot, and some don't. So if yours has a strainer in it, then you can put your tea right into the pot, knowing that your tea leaves won't pour out into your tea water. And if it doesn't, then you can use a tea bag inside of your teapot. I'm going to use a tea bag because this pot does not have a strainer in the neck. Fifth way to steep your tea would be using a steeper. And this is one of the steepers that I purchased when Tivana was still in business. And you put your tea leaves in here, and then you can pour your water in just like this once it's done steeping. So let me show you how I add each tea, add the loose leaf tea leaves, and then steep. So for the tea basket, I'll just take the David's Tea, the loose leaf tea. I'll put 1 teaspoon in because 1 teaspoon makes a perfect cup. Drop it right in there. For a tea bag, of course, you need to open the tea bag up, expand it a little bit, and then I just take a teaspoon and drop it inside of the tea bag. And then you want to be sure to pull this tea bag all the way shut so that leaves are not floating around. Some people like to drink with the leaves or eat the tea leaves, but I would rather not have leaves in my cup, so I go ahead and shut that. For our handy dandy little bunny, our steeping bunny, that's what 1 teaspoon looks like in there. I'm going to go ahead and get anything that came in, get that off. Isn't it cute? I really like that. Put it in. And then remember, I'm going to use a tea bag inside of my pot because it does not have a strainer in the neck of the little teapot. You're putting that in, pulling it closed, really, really good. And then I'll set that inside there. And for this handy dandy steeper, I just push on the button and lift that top up. I'm going to ice this one. So if you're going to make some iced tea, you normally want to double your tea. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in there instead of 1. And normally, I have a little plate that goes with this. I didn't grab it out, but you set it on your table and you let it steep. Let me get some water. So again, for black tea, you can normally brew it at 212 degrees, which is boiling water. But for the Love Tea from David's Tea, you want to use near boiling water for that. And so I just go ahead and fill it up fill the water till it reaches a fill line, and I cap that. There's the tea bag steeping there. I like to hold the tea bag too, because if you don't, it may get lost. And you allow this to steep. Normally I have a little plate that goes under it so that nothing leaks onto the table, but I'm pretty secure in the fact that it will not leak. So that is the way that we steep each of these teas. When you're steeping a loose leaf tea, it'll tell you how long to steep it for. And so for the David's Love Tea number 7, it says that you should steep this in near boiling water for 4 to 7 minutes. And so normally I am true to whatever the time says. If it says that it should be steeped for 7 minutes, I normally steep it the longest time frame that they have on it, because I like a strong tea. And so we'll let it steep for 7 minutes. Well, the teas have steeped for 7 minutes, and so most of them, when you're done steeping your tea, for this one that has a cap, you take that top off, you take your basket off and let it strain all the water out. And then you can set it down on this little plate. Isn't that cute? That's one of the reasons why I really love this cup, because it's kind of like all-inclusive. So getting a tea cup like this is pretty cool. So this one I picked up from David's Tea, but there are many places that have baskets like this. When I am using the tea bag, they have a cute little tea bag squeezer. So I pull my bag out and just kind of squeeze it to make sure I get all that flavor out of the tea. And then I'll just normally set it down on a little plate, or I have little teacups. Didn't bring one of those. You can do that. For the bunny, you'd let him just continue to drain all of the tea that's in there. He's expanded. So the tea, of course, expands as it's steeping in the water. So there's more. It looks like it's more in there. I kind of just hit him a little bit to make sure all the water's out. And then I'll place him on a plate, or today we'll just put him right there in that little steeper. He can sit there and chill. And here we go again with our handy dandy little tea bag squeezer. Squeeze all that water out. And then I'll move it over to my plate that I have here on the side. And then with the teapot, I normally just cap it so that my tea stays warm. I really like that, like my warm tea. And then we're gonna use our tea strainer. Isn't that cute how the water just pours in there? If you visit one of my other videos, I talk about this particular tea steeper. I'm gonna go ahead and set this on my extra plate over here so that nothing leaks onto our table. And so you can see here the pretty hue that this tea gives. It's a nice pretty brown tea. The love tea smells really good. I will be drinking that as soon as it's a little bit warmer. I don't know about you, but sometimes I burn my tongue and I don't like it. So yeah, let's say that. I like to add honey in my black tea, and I also sometimes like to add a little cream in it, and it gives it just a creamier flavor, and this is definitely one of those teas that I like to do that. So here were our 5 ways to steep a loose leaf tea: using a basket, using a tea bag, using a bunny steeper, a teapot, or this handy dandy steeper that goes right over your teacup. Thanks so much for joining me for Tea Time with Tiara. And as always, I ask that you would like this video, subscribe to my YouTube page, and leave any comments or questions down below. Thanks so much. Enjoy this sweet, sweet, sweetest day.